Okay, hello and welcome. First off, I just want to say this isn't going to be a review of the episode, more of a rambling and my general thoughts of what happened and just Game of Thrones in its state right now, just in general. I honestly didn't think I'd be making this video, but I am. I might as well talk about it. I was a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I haven't talked about it a lot. I was a huge fan until D&D just kind of shit the bed. My God, season 8 was a tragedy. I was thinking that this show in itself wouldn't be a tragedy, but it would just be really a passing thought in the Game of Thrones saga or the lore. I mean, because honestly, who the hell cares, right? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about the prequel? And I'm saying that even though I like the episode, right? And there's nothing. I like the episode. I'll just go over very quickly. Again, not a review. I'm just my general thoughts. Technically, the episode was very good. A lot of technical shots that just like the old Game of Thrones, very well done. Lots of good acting, very well done again. The sets, brilliant. CGI, very good, as you can see right here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do footage or just like the episode itself. You see the dragon here, CGI, very good. And I expected it to be this way though. I expected everything to be good. Everything to flow very nicely, which it did. The plot, the characters interacted between each other very nicely. You can tell that each character that you come across in the show, they have their own ambitions, a lot of complexity built into them, what they're trying to do, and how they interact with each other. Very good. On the comparison side, this is all right. This is gives me my more general thoughts about the show and how it's going to proceed in the future, right? On all right, in total, right? In order for this show, House of the Dragon, to be successful, it has to be better than Game of Thrones. And I mean the first 4 seasons. Let's not even fucking think about the last four. We don't care about them. All right. That's a huge challenge for the show, right? It's going to be constantly compared to the original. Constantly. That's a fact. It's going to happen. Unfortunately, I wish this show could stand on its own, but it's taking the reins of the original because it is a prequel. So there's going to be lots of lore aspects. People like lots of critics and just general fans are going to be watching out for. It's going to happen. It's gonna happen, and I can understand those people. Like if something doesn't exactly go the way, for instance, the absolute change of the race swapping, basically of the Valyrians, the Valerians, House Valerian. Um, People don't like that. I understand. I'm not a big book reader. I've read two of the original. I'm basically waiting for George to finish Winds of Winter. I'm not holding my breath, so I'll wait. I don't care. I did not read Fire and Blood, I believe, which this show is based on. Um, so there's lots of lore that maybe not like in the show that I haven't just read up on that I don't know. So there are fans that are they if they mess anything up in the show, the adaptation wise, people may get upset. I'm not like a stickler about adaptation. There's wiggle room, tons of wiggle room. I don't mind. And trying to adapt a small book into a giant TV show with like 10 episodes, right? You're gonna have to add filler, you're gonna have to take away things. It's just gonna happen. It's reality basically. Anyway, off that subject. Again, a huge the I'm seeing people talking about it, and I'm seeing that people think that this episode, like myself, it was good, but not spectacular, right? Not like the first season of Game of Thrones. Granted, now that we can look back on like the first season and just see how amazing it was, right? How it was an amazing show. Just an amazing first season. How everybody loved it. Everybody loved the characters. Everybody loved the plot. Everybody loved the fantasy. It was a whole new thing no one's ever seen. It was the biggest television show on record since Lost, Breaking Bad, The Wire. Name any other show that people loved. Game of Thrones was bigger than that. Um, then it gets squandered, and people just drop off. Understandably, and why shouldn't they? Right? Why shouldn't they drop off? It was the last season was done horribly, uh, and why care about this? I don't blame anyone. I wouldn't blame anyone. I think the viewership sort of reflects that. It seems that I looked it up. It seems that they're around. I may be wrong. Just with the articles I've seen, around 2 million people first viewership. I'm not. I tried to find articles about, back in like 2010, what like the first Game of Thrones was like. Probably smaller, honestly. I couldn't find any reputable sources giving me that information, unfortunately. But I make do with what I can, anyway. And it seems that now a few days have passed, around 10 million, probably higher than that, honestly. Is that good? 10 million for a reputable show as Game of Thrones, so recognizable. But then again, a lot of people hate it now just because of what happened with the last season. I don't know. This is this show's biggest challenge. It has to be better than the original. It's the only way this show is going to garner real success, I believe. I believe that wholeheartedly. Um, Maybe that's unfortunate because maybe this show could be better than the original. We don't know. As of now, I can't make any definitive statements about that, right? This isn't one of those shows where, like, for instance, I put out that She-Hulk video, right? It was immediately horrible. You can tell exactly where that show's gonna go. It won't be good. Just like it's Marvel, it's factory produced Disney sludge. Exactly what it is. You get exactly what you get. You know what it is, even though everyone, all these other articles trying to, tell you that no, it's great. Stop it. It's not. This show, vastly different. So different. We get an hour of content each episode. It's a slow burn. You really gotta pay attention to what happens, right? Only saw that episode twice, and I'm pretty sure I missed tons of things within it already, right? Because you gotta, in order for me to like make sure about my feelings that I like the show, I have to look at everything. So I have to look at how characters interact with each other. I have to look at the editing. I have to look at the technical side. What people are wearing. Are they similar to the original, or does everything look good, look realistic? I got to look at the plot. Does it flow correctly? Does everything make sense? Um, it's harder to do that when it's a slow burn of a show like something like Lost, right? You got to really analyze everything that's going on. And I think the end of the season, I think it will be apparent whether or not this show will be an actual success. And success wise, I mean, in both regards to being being as good as the original series in the beginning. Let's again disregard the last four in the beginning, and a success to all fans who watch it and like it. Right? It has to make those both of those fronts. And that's going to be, again, a huge obstacle. I mean, I don't think it can do it, honestly. I believe Game of Thrones in general has waned in the public, or at least the internet sphere for a long time. People are not happy with George in general. People are not happy with Game of Thrones. That interest just maybe isn't there, which is unfortunate because I do like this episode. But again, I have to state there's so much I you, there's so much underlining subtext within like each character's dialogue. You really gotta um, you really gotta pay attention. Some people, normies don't usually do that, right? So it's gonna and normies don't usually like slow burns. Um, and I can see maybe that some normies won't like this because it's a prequel. And just first off, I should say, um, characters in general are a big part of like a story. And for this story, the characters aren't all the characters we're introduced to. First off, aren't incredibly interesting. There are a few whose motivations or interests I can see getting into and like liking them. Obviously, Prince Damon is one of them. So if you've watched the episode, you know he's just a little bit more bloodthirsty than everyone else. So it's just a little more interesting, and you know him a little bit more than everyone else, I guess. More than like King Viserys. Oh, King Viserys is very good too. The actor who's playing him as well. Also, I should state the acting is very good in the show. Obviously, that's to be expected. Um, Wholeheartedly. Why not, right? Very good. I think everyone's portraying everything as well as they should. I was surprised. Apparently, I had no idea that the House of Valerion was even a thing. I should say that. I didn't read the books, and it wasn't mentioned in Game of Thrones as far as I can remember. Yeah, I don't remember House Valerion being brought up at all. But apparently they're there. We'll get more from them. I hope so. Anyway, they're interesting. Apparently, I was looking up that apparently from the books, House Valerion also came from old Valeria, where the Targaryens came from. They were like a lower house, but they interbreed between each other, which is why some people are mad that House of Valerion are all black people because in the books it didn't make sense because they're all supposed to be white, silver-haired freaks, incestuous freaks. Anyway, I'll, maybe we should stop ranting and rambling, right? Like, tell me what you think about the show. Or just this episode. I think it was okay. Wasn't bad. I need more though. I need more. I need to see where this show's gonna go. I need to see what these characters are gonna do. I need to see everything. I need to see the CGI, other technical aspects, fights, what kind of cameos are they gonna bring up? Or like for instance, I saw Bolton flags in this episode during the tourney. We saw Baratheon flags. We saw some Baratheons. Are we gonna see more Starks? We're gonna see Lannisters. What are we gonna see? What's gonna be nostalgic to me? I don't know. How's everything gonna play out? I think it's gonna be more streamlined than the original because it's only based on one book. So maybe the writers of this show are gonna like fill some stuff in, like George might fill some stuff in to like fill in some gaps to connect everything maybe more smoothly than the book did. Well, I don't know exactly because I didn't read the book again, but I'm just spitballing honestly. My expectations for the show are as exactly what they were before as I watched it, just mid. I'm not really expecting anything, um, and I think that's okay. Maybe it's not. It'll be a good show. It won't be a good show. It doesn't really matter. Because I also don't believe that Winds of Winter will come out, and we'll never get like a true ending to our Game of Thrones. You know, say that part of ourselves won't be satiated anytime soon, which will be unfortunate. That's just my opinion though, and my feelings. Anyways, it's been a weird discussion about House of Dragon. I may do like a proper review. I may not. I really just wanted to sort of discuss with you guys how you feel about the show and what you're expecting, what you're looking forward to. All right, that's it. Finally, it's it. Okay, you guys have a good day. See ya.